No, it's still just saying, oh, live. We're live. I think we're live now.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Anne and I are just working out the technology of going live on YouTube, but I think we're here now. I think everything's working. Say hello in the comments if you can see us. But yeah.
Say hello if you can see us.
I think we're here now.
Okay, cool.
Oh, and mute your YouTube, and if because I think there's going to be a feedback.
Oh, I've closed it now. I can see us.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yay.
Oh, look, lots of people saying hi now. Great.
Hooray. Yes, well, we're here live. We're ready to talk about the Women's Prize when it's announced in just a few minutes' time.
And we're going to share it on here as well, so you don't have to worry about, you'll get to see the official live video if you're watching us here, albeit with us talking over the top, probably a little bit in excitement or frustration.
But mostly us, just waiting in anticipation and like hoping for our anyway, if anyone has any last minute guesses for the shortlist that they want to put in the comments, please put that, and we can see how many
from New Orleans and Brooklyn.
From all over. Very exciting.
Alison says she's skipping work to watch this. I approve, Alison.
Yeah.
I am also skipping. I am on deadline for my next book, and I really should be more focused on that. But this is very important.
It is, yeah. And it can all be our little secret. We're just doing this, and we don't have to tell anybody. I'm sure no one will know.
Burnt sugar or bust.
Yeah, it's been good to see some support for burnt sugar, which I believe Anna referred to as boring in our long list discussion.
I said I found it boring. I found it dull. That's not to invalidate anyone who didn't find it dull. Oh no, have we just lost Eric? Oh no. I'm not even quite sure how that would work, given that it's Eric who's running the stream from his end. People watching. Has Eric dipped out for you as well? Oh,
hello.
What happened there?
I don't know. It just like took me out of it for some reason for a second. But anyway, I'm gonna try to get the video of the woman.
Oh, great. Okay, yeah. Now. I'm enjoying reading people's. There's a real mix of people on both sides of the burnt sugar debate.
Yeah.
Kathy says I'm with Anna. Oh, so does Nicholas. I feel like, I'm sorry, but I do think there's more people who are not a huge fan.
Fair enough.
People suggesting I'd kicked you off because of your feelings about burnt sugar. I haven't deleted him. Eric is in charge of this. He's operating it all from his end, which is why it was confusing when he left and it was still happening. Although KD Books says, Anna, we're going to have a thumb war to settle this. I don't know if they're suggesting that me and you should have a thumb war, or that KD Books would like to battle me in thumb wars and they're on your side.
Virtual thumb wars.
More on both. Laura, fan of burnt sugar here. Heather, I liked burnt sugar.
I know there's lots of support for no one is talking about this as well, though. So
and I think those were the only two that we sort of had. Particularly, we differed on slightly on some other takes, but those were the only two where I think we had sort of fundamentally different reading experiences.
Yeah.
Oh, Jess is just saying, warning, there's a 2-minute delay with YouTube premiere, so the shortlist will be up on Twitter before YouTube. So just to help, this is a delay. That's already you've already
let me turn this down a bit for now, since it's not starting yet. Oh gosh,
burnt sugar has been slow for me too, but also enjoyable. Can it be both? Absolutely, but I think for me, slow and dull are different things. So I've read lots of books that are slow and still enjoyable, absolutely. But for me, it was not so much the pace that was the issue. But that's, again, as I say, that's just my take. there's very few things that I would I feel like, apart from kind of problematic or troubling content, I'm a big believer in kind of whatever reading experience anyone has had is completely valid and as equal as anybody else's. So like, yeah, I'm not the sort of reader to sort of be like, a book categorically is boring. It's just I found it a bit dull. Would be surprised if The Vanishing Half wouldn't make it. I agree. Loved and hated no one is talking about this at the same time. I can see how people would have that experience. Oh, Ben is Team Anna on Burnt Sugar and the Lockwood. Thanks, Ben. Oh, I love this StreamYard. It's so great. I love being able to see all the comments coming in and seeing what people are. Oh, Joni says The Vanishing Half was very cliched, a dissenting voice.
Ooh.
Nicholas's personal short. Oh, hang on. Here we go.
Just a few seconds.
Is the volume up on the video?
I will turn it up.
Hi, I'm Bernadine Evaristo.
Hi, Bernadine.
And I am chair of the 2021 Women's Prize for Fiction jury. We have now come up with our shortlist, and I hope you find the books fascinating, rich, and as varied as one would expect from women's fiction. It was really difficult whittling down from a long list of 16 books to 6 books, and we had a very long and intense judging process.
Okay, people, please don't put the shortlist in the comments before it's announced.
Yeah, it's not. Oh!
Is that 7 books?
No, 6. So, Transcendent Kingdom.
Yes, excellent.
Yay.
Kingdom by Gyasi. Whenever I think of my mother, I picture a queen-size bed with her lying in it, a practiced stillness filling the room. For months on end, she colonized that bed like a virus. The first time when I was a child, and then again when I was a graduate student. The first time I was sent to Ghana to wait her out. While there, I was walking through Kajetia Market with my aunt when she grabbed my arm and pointed, "Look, a crazy person," she said in Twi. "Do you see? A crazy person." I was mortified. My aunt was speaking so loudly, and the man, tall, with dust caked into his dreadlocks, was within earshot. I see, I answered in a low hiss. The man continued past us, mumbling to himself as he waved his hands around in gestures that only he could understand.
The Vanishing Half by Brit, Bennett.
Yay.
In Mallard, you grew up hearing stories about folks who pretended to be white. Warren Photono riding a train in the white section, and when a suspicious porter questioned him, speaking enough French to convince him that he was a swarthy European. Marlena Gudo becoming white to earn her teaching certificate. Luther Thibodeau, whose foreman marked him white and gave him more pay. Passing like this from moment to moment was funny, heroic even. Who didn't want to get over on white folks for a change? But the Passe Blanc were a mystery. You could never meet one who passed over undetected. The same way you'd never know someone who successfully faked her own death. The act could only be successful if no one ever discovered it was a ruse.
Wow, I'm quite surprised to see this here.
Yeah, me too. I'm curious. Yeah.
Adan leaves her at home alone. Lala stands barefoot in the dark doorway of his house in a scratchy white nightgown she has stolen from Wilma, assuring herself, despite the obvious, that everything will be okay. The salty air was still when she opened the door, and sweat still beats her face when she slips her feet into Adan's old sneakers and grabs hold of the inner soles with her toes, worrying about her descent to the grey velvet blur of beach so far beneath her. No one is talking about this. There was a new toy. Everyone was making fun of it, but Then it was said to be designed for autistic people, and then no one made fun of it anymore, but made fun of the people who were making fun of it previously. Then someone else discovered a stone version from 1 million years ago in some museum, and this seemed to prove something. Then the origin of the toy was revealed to have something to do with Israel and Palestine, and so everyone made a pact never to speak of it again. And all of this happened in the space of like 4 days.
Yay!
Unsettled Ground by Claire Fuller.
So happy to see this.
Jeannie is woken by Julius shaking her arm, at first gently and then more roughly. She flies down the stairs after him, her nightdress flapping out behind, even though he has said she must walk. It's gloomy in the kitchen, curtains drawn, lights off, only the orange glow of the fire in the range. Their mother lies face down on the floor, not moving. Jeannie puts her hands to her mouth to hold in her noise. Help me turn her over, Julius says. And as Jeannie touches their mother, she knows she is dead.
Yay!
Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. As well as my regular meetings with the other and the quiet, consolatory presence of the dead, there are the birds. Birds are not difficult to understand. Their behavior tells me what they are thinking. Generally, it runs along the lines of, is this food? Is this? What about this? This might be food. I'm almost certain that this is. Or occasionally, it is raining. I do not like it. While ample for a brief, neighborly exchange, such remarks do not suggest a broad or deep intelligence. Yet it has occurred to me that there may be more wisdom in birds than appear at first sight, a wisdom that reveals itself only obliquely and intermittently.
There we go.
There you have it. The 2021 Women's Prize for Fiction Shortlist. We really hope that you will go out and discover these books and have as much fun reading them as we did.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, also just to say, I can hear myself, but I don't have YouTube open. Is that?
Oh,
no,
well,
it's gone.
I can see and hear you. So
Anyway, there's like an echo, but I'm not sure. Oh, anyway, never mind. Yeah. Just people in the comments, it was just because of various delays when I was saying about it, there was just, we're operating, I think we're on a slight delay, and then their live was on a slight delay, and Twitter, and we're seeing the comments delayed from when you're typing them. So I was trying to offset people getting spoiled before they wanted to be. But anyway, we all know what's going on now.
Now we know this is the short list. Some surprises, some not. So we got 4 right of our joint predictions. That's pretty good.
Which is pretty good. It's also got 4 of my personal shortlists on there. Mm-hmm. I think I'm delighted that the Gyasi and the Lockwood in particular, obviously, my 2 books of the year so far. Also delighted by the Clarke and the Bennett. I really liked the Fuller, even though it wasn't on my personal shortlist. I still really, I'm delighted that it's there. I maybe would have picked something else, but I thought it was an excellent book. My main surprise is the Jones. I don't think it's at the, I don't think it's quite at the sort of craft level of the others. Just my personal take, and I'm gutted that Transition Baby isn't there.
Yeah, I think that's my biggest disappointment as well. I really wish it was on there. Like, as much as I love Burnt Sugar, it's like already had some prize attention, and as much as I love Luster, that's been hugely popular. Lots of people are reading it, and obviously Transition Baby is a bestseller now as well. But yeah, I sort of wish it was getting more recognition. So a shame not to. I'm sort of quite disappointed not to see these 3 on the
the it's also just American American, but is it half and half?
Yeah, I think so. Is that right? Yeah, half American, half British.
I'd have to check some, but I think half and half. Yeah, I'm really pleasantly surprised that Piranesi has been shortlisted, because the prize sometimes shies away from fantasy and genre, and I didn't even have it. I'm even more gutted now that I didn't have it on my initial long list, because I was gonna, as we said in the last video, like I was gonna put it there, and then just thought, oh, fantasy's a risky prediction. But yeah, surprised that Lost It isn't there. But all in all, given previous years, I feel like I've had worse disappointments in previous years, I would say. Overall.
Yeah, I was almost gearing myself up to have like a number of things off, but yeah, I'm most happy to see Transcendent Kingdom and Unsettled Ground on the list. I think those are like my two top books that I'm just like so happy have been shortlisted. But obviously, I love the Vanishing Half and Piranesi as well. But yeah, it's
a strong list. It's a strong list, and I think given the subjectivity of prizes and books, I think it's going to be a good year.
Yeah, and a real like diversity of subject matter. I think too, like the novels are all about like very different things, and like with Piranesi, like have like quite different styles of storytelling. So like, that's quite exciting, interesting to see.
Yeah. Lydia asks how many have we both read, but I think we've both read all of them. So we are primed to talk more about that. I might reread.
Everyone will be talking more about No One Is Talking About This.
Yes, I'm going to reread that one actually, because I did feel when we were talking about it in our shortlist prediction that I felt like I was remembering how much I loved it without having kind of the details very present in my mind, because I read it last autumn, like when the proofs first came out, maybe late last year, and I'd love to have more of a conversation with you about it, but I'd love to reread it, I think. And I'd like to reread the Vanishing Half as well, because I read that ages ago as well. So I think I'm probably going to give those two a reread, but the others are more recent reads. So so
maybe I should just reread the second half of No One Is Talking About This.
But the thing is, I just think that I don't think it's as much a book of two halves as people like. I feel like it's one book, and yes, obviously there's like a part two sense, but like I really do think that part two works because of part one. So I would. It's so short. You can read it in a day. Reread the whole.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, it really isn't that long. Yeah, I shouldn't be so lazy. But I did read it. I don't know, quite recently, or like whenever it was published. It was when I read it. So
yeah, so that would be January. Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I should.
I think that it's. I think to see it as a book of two halves does it a bit of a disservice, and I think that I'm looking forward to rereading it, and I think
I agree. I think you made a really interesting like argument for why they work together. But just personally, in my reading experience of it, I enjoyed the second half of it less, so that's why I was maybe I should just read. But you're right.
I'm interested to reread. Having read the whole thing, I'm interested to reread it and see kind of how she seeds where it goes in the end. And I think it would be one that actually I'm excited to reread. I think I would get a lot out of a reread, having known where it's going and what it's sort of where it ends up. So I'm definitely going to reread that, and I probably will reread The Vanishing Half just because I read it so long ago. But yeah, let's see. I mean, my gut instinct is that the Lockwood or the Gyasi should win just because they're my favourites. But I think Transcendent Kingdom has an extremely strong shot looking at that list.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, when it was just looking at the entire long list, that's my top favorite or top tip to win. But yeah, who knows which way the judges will go. And
yeah, if someone asked me now, I would say Transcendent Kingdom as my prediction, and I would love for it to be Transcendent Kingdom, or no one is talking about this, but
does
we
anyone
shall
else have any predictions, like early predictions for what might win? Let us know in the comments. Yeah.
Jenny, my winner's bet is on Transcendent Kingdom. Laura, Transcendent Kingdom. Jenny says she's correctly predicted the last 3 winners. I would like to get it right. I've won money on the last. I think I've got 5 out of 6 since I started following it. So I would like to continue my streak as well. So I'm with you, Jenny, and I also am with you on Transcendent Kingdom. Yeah, Heather, Transcendent Kingdom. Brown Girl Reading says Gyasi should have won for Homegoing. She wasn't even longlisted for Homegoing, which was was a travesty. I think it might be things are refreshing. I think it might be The Vanishing Half. Want it to be Transcendent Kingdom. I don't think it will be The Vanishing Half because it has been such a huge book, and also I don't think it's as good as Transcendent Kingdom. So the double whammy.
I could see it winning though. I could see The Vanishing Half winning. And I also believe I could see Unsettled Ground winning as well. I mean, the more I've thought about this novel, the more impactful I think it is. And so, yeah, it's one that's definitely sticking with me.
Phil says, for me, one of the highlights of your shortlist prediction video is just how happy Anna was that Eric loved Transcendent Kingdom too. It's always nice when we do tend to cross over quite a lot, but it's always nice when we can really champion and celebrate, I think, the same books. And Phil says, I have my signed copy ready to start reading tomorrow. Denny, a rogue one, I'd say Piranesi, if they're feeling a curveball. Geraldine says Piranesi. PK says Transcendent Kingdom. Yeah, Brown Girl Reading agrees with me. It won't be The Vanishing Half. I would be, yeah, who knows, but yes, I think if forced to make a commitment now, which no one is forcing me, I would. My instinct is Transcendent Kingdom, but I'm sure we'll do lots of reading and thinking and talking, and I will probably I never put much money on this because I am not a gambler at heart, but it does add a certain frisson to have a tenner on something.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to put a bet on it too, because I missed out last year. I think I tried to place a bet too late in the process and wasn't able to. So
it was hard to bet on last year. They it usually is the mainstream places have it, but I ended up requesting odds for it, and then someone else, and then they started doing it, as I think a few people were trying to bet on it. So hopefully it'll be easier this year, but it's always fun, and fingers crossed it will also be at a real life party, although I'm trying not to get too fixated on that. Cool, great. Well, exciting. I was going to say exciting times, but that is a book that did not. Exciting times for us and the prize, not Phoenicia Dolan, whose book Exciting Times wasn't longlisted. Yeah, no, but on the whole, I would say less upsets. Do you know what I would love to read more? A detailed review or take of someone who really loved the Cherie Jones, because I like lots about it. I think that she's very talented in many ways, but yeah, it didn't quite come together for me. And I'd be really interested to read more, read something a bit more in depth from someone who really loved it. I might go and see if I can find some reviews, because I feel like I have a take. It wasn't one where
it wasn't so much the writing style of it for me. It was just the subject matter is so dark, unrelentingly dark, that it makes it a challenging read to get through in a way.
It's really bleak. I will not be rereading it. It's a difficult read and full of all sorts of challenging and upsetting content. For me, it was kind of like a structure pacing thing rather than the writing quality per se. Rambling Anna asks, when is the winner announced? It's in July, isn't it?
I think it's the 7th of July. It'll say on the Women's Prize website.
I will just quickly Google it so we can confirm. Because it's usually June, but they're obviously pushing it back in the hope that we can celebrate with it in real life, even if it's not the kind of large scale party that it usually is. Wednesday, 7th of July.
Great. Yeah.
And there's going to be they usually do the readings, which they're doing virtually. And there's tickets for that on the Women's Prize website if you're interested in that.
To watch. But yeah,
I hope there's a party, and I hope Patricia Lockwood comes, and I hope that I can befriend her and be her best friend.
And if that's
happening, I hope she never sees
the room
this.
in the party, I'll be like taking a picture of Anna with Patricia Lockwood and being like, "Look, she met her." That's so exciting.
But you can never. If I'll pretend that I'm not. I'll be like pretend I'm not a fangirl. So.
And I'll be trying to make friends with Gyasi, because I think she's so amazing. I've like watched a number of interviews with her now, and she's so fascinating.
Yeah. Incredible. Yeah, I'm very firmly Transcendent Kingdom, or no one is talking about this. Also, I just have to say thanks, Mian, who says Anna is looking especially Emma Stone-ish tonight, which is my favorite thing. Thank you. I love her.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. Well, we will almost definitely do one more video.
Yeah, more discussions to be had, more rereading to do. Let us know in the comments too if what's your top book that you're gonna read next from the shortlist, or reread if you've read them all already. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or if you feel like you've read them all already, don't need to anymore. That's fine too.
Wonderful. Great. Well, we will see you probably late June for a last video and winner prediction.
Wrap up discussion.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us, everyone. This was really fun to see everyone's comments at the same time, simultaneous, alongside slight technical hiccups, but that's just part of the fun.
We got there. Right. Well, enjoy reading, everyone.
And have a good evening. I'm very excited because I got my first vaccine shot.
Hey! Oh, lovely news. But I haven't, because I'm younger than Eric.
Yeah, so you're just gonna have to wait your turn, Anna, being younger. Yeah. Thanks for that.
I couldn't resist. But that's lovely news, and also not outside the realms of possibility that we might be able to film our shortlist prediction in real life together. So fingers crossed.
That'd be great. Yes, I can be in the same room again. Yay!
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. See you soon.